Welcome to Paranormal Gumbo with your hosts, Angel and Aaron.
Hey, welcome to Paranormal Gumbo. This is Aaron.
And this is Angel.
Where we talk about all things paranormal and try to add a little dose of humor.
A big dose of humor.
There you go. Well, we're going to be talking about Louisiana stuff today. I may as well let people know about the UFO that was spotted over Lafayette.
Yes.
Got a video of that as well.
That.
Yeah, there's two women in a parking lot. You know, don't know why they were recording, but maybe one of them saw.
Well, that's just the two women in a parking lot. That's just what you do. You know, you just record.
Well, I think from watching the video, it looks like one of the women saw the UFO, whipped her phone out and started recording it because the other one's like, Probably. "What are you doing? Looking for a contact?" And she's like, "No, I'm looking at the UFO over there."
Yeah, she saw it. And
she looked over and she's like, "Oh my God, what is that?" And then it turns off. It goes away. It's a green light that's floating over the city of Lafayette, Louisiana. And we'll get the video on our website as well for you guys.
So the video turns off?
No. The light itself turns off. And then like a second or two later, the video itself ends. But, I mean, it's
like she didn't get it quite in time.
Yeah, it's not absolutely compelling evidence that there are UFOs, but, you know, it's something. It's something floating in the sky above Lafayette.
All right, so today, we're going to talk about the Grunch, not the Grinch. Not the Grunch, the musical. We're going to talk about the Grunch, a.k.a. Aaron. And when we talk more about it, you'll
Louisiana
understand
chupacabra.
Why I say I think it's Aaron.
I mean, unless I personally know them, they're not going to know one bit what you're talking about.
Well, they know from our conversations that you stink.
No, I don't. I fart. People fart, Angel. Everybody poops. There's a book about it.
Yeah, but not in a small room with somebody else. I can't wait for the movie. And like I said, I am scarred for life from when we were kids and we were trapped in a hot van and you had just eaten a can of pork and beans and you farted until we couldn't breathe.
I don't remember that.
Well, that's because it caused brain damage.
Maybe.
Too much methane in a small enclosed area.
I'm the reason the Green New Deal needs to go through, right?
Exactly.
It's not Cal farts. It's Aaron farts.
It's Aaron farts. Okay, so here we go. You want to tell us what you know about the Grunch monster?
Well, it's a weird thing. I mean, I know people from New Orleans. I asked them about it when we first started talking about it, and I'm like, "Hey, do you know anything about the Grunch?" And he was like, "Nope." And he's from right around that area. Mm-hmm. Basically, what it is, it's the Louisiana chupacabra.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to be. Hold up, let me.
But it goes way back before chupacabra.
Yeah, it does. It goes back to
cool.
the day.
It goes back to the 1800s. One source said the 1700s, but it was just one source. Yeah. Everything else says the 1800s.
The big thing about it is it's supposed to be from. Where's my research at? Where's my stuff at? Hold up, let me go back to it real quick. Marie Laveau was supposed to have been the person that's responsible for the Grunch.
Well, that's one story.
That's one of the stories. Yeah. She's supposed to be responsible for the Grunch.
Marie Laveau got around. Let me tell you, she did everything.
Oh, yeah,
and if it's New Orleans and it's bad, she did it.
Well, I mean, if it's in New Orleans and it's good, she probably helped do it, too. I mean, she wasn't just a bad woman.
Well, and she wasn't just one woman either. Yeah. There were more than one Marie Laveaus. They kept changing.
Yep.
They would call themselves Marie Laveau in that line.
Yeah, and her daughter was supposed to have been her. You know, she took the form of her daughter.
And that's why they thought she lived forever. Mm-hmm. Either that or she really did live a long time.
She may. You never know.
That voodoo ain't no joke.
Yeah, I can't wait until we do the show on voodoo. We're going to be going to New Orleans here soon, and we're going to...
we're going to go to some voodoo shops. We're going to talk to some
good
people.
Research.
We're going to find some old people who know about some voodoo.
And even like the Grunch right here. I mean, I want to go hit some of the bars around where this happened at. And some of those old day drinkers, they're going to tell you some shit. They're going to tell you some stories.
We're going to have to bring a tape recorder because after hitting some of the bars, we're not going to be able to remember anything.
Well, I can. I mean, you've never seen Beer Fest? Drunken Recall is a thing. We'll just have to be drunk when we talk about it. But yeah, it's sorry about that, guys. The Grunch, it's supposed to be like the Louisiana chupacabra. It's supposed to be a bipedal, lizard-like, goat-like, and canine-like. It's kind of weird. But Marie Laveau was supposedly one of the people that are... One of the stories is Marie Laveau brought it forward by...
I believe you've already told us all.
The Devil Baby. The Devil Baby. Well, yeah, I mean, power of editing, right, Angel?
Now, my question is, where did she get the Devil Baby? No legend told us. I looked. No legend told us where she got the Devil Baby, but she had a Devil Baby there. So,
look it up real quick.
I don't know. Maybe the Devil Stork delivered him. Not sure.
Let's see. Apparently, it's a movie.
And how did she know it was a Devil Baby?
Devil's Child. Let me see if I can narrow it down.
I don't think you're going to find that information.
Oh, here you go. Marie Laveau and the Devil Baby of Bourbon Street. It's supposed to be the Devil's Child. Oh, look, they got effigies of it.
Huh, cool.
Let me see real quick.
We need to remember that website. We need to put that on our site.
Okay. It's on hauntedneworleanstours.com. Apparently, this is a very, very, very long story, but apparently one of the upper families the higher up families in New Orleans basically made a deal with the devil.
Okay.
To deliver the Devil Baby, the Antichrist, pretty much.
Cool, I did not.
And Marie Laveau was there during the birth. And she, according to the story now, she didn't want it to spread any more of its evil or any more evil onto the world than it already had. So she castrated it, cut the little dude's balls off. And the story goes that when the testicles hit the ground, they turned into a male and a female Grunch.
Okay.
They attacked her and pretty much beat the living shit out of her for quite some time. And the way the story goes is she fought them off as best as she could, but eventually she lost consciousness. And when she woke up, they were gone. And
as happens when you fight off devil babies.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know why they didn't kill her when she fell unconscious. I mean, that's something.
Grunches just want you to suffer.
Well, maybe. I mean, that's one of the things right there that they're talking about is maybe, she was protected by something else. So they're no longer in the area, and now they inhabit Grunch Road, pretty much. From what I can understand on Grunch Road, it's not a real road, but it's near East Hayes Boulevard. Now, if you go to Google Maps and you type in Hayes Boulevard.
Yeah, I think it was Haynes. Hang on, I'll tell you for sure.
Yeah, it's Haynes Boulevard. If you follow it east as far as you can, eventually it comes to the Bayou Sauvage National Wildlife Refuge. Now, this is kind of interesting right here because a lot of people have said that they see the Grunch on Highway 90 looking for things to kill. And unlike the chupacabra from regular lore, this doesn't just suck the blood of its victims. It's known also to suck the organs out of one hole. It'll kill. Yeah, it'll kill whatever it's feasting off of.
Right.
Be it an animal. There have been reports of humans being attacked by it. There are even some pictures that you can find on websites of, hey, this is a Grunch right here. And you look at it and it's like, well, it looks like a blurry piece of shit. You don't know what it is.
Right.
So what we're going to have to do is pretty soon we're going to have to go to...
We're going to go Grunch hunting.
We're going to go Grunch hunting.
Yes, I want to go Grunch hunting.
Yeah, we'll take a weekend. We'll go Grunch hunting.
It's so funny because, we're not far from New Orleans. You grew up in Louisiana. I keep saying Louisiana. You grew up over there and we hadn't heard of it. So it's kind of cool to have a local legend that we've not heard of to investigate.
Like I said, I know a guy that's lived there for years.
and he hadn't heard of it.
And he had never heard of it. So, I mean, maybe it's only something that the old-timers know about.
Probably. That's
what
it kind of looks like.
We need to go to the bars. I mean, I've heard of the Rougarou.
Yeah, everybody's heard of the Rougarou.
So, that's one of the things right there. I'd never heard of the Grunch.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I'm pretty sure some of our listeners, maybe they have.
Apparently, he likes to chase after, or they like to chase after garbage men.
Yeah.
And they like to get into the garbage cans.
Knocking shit over.
Knocking stuff over. Yep. And one of the things that I saw is that they're supposed to be very intelligent.
Yeah.
Like almost human intelligence.
They're almost human. They've almost got human-like intelligence.
And that they'll use tools and things like that. And also, I saw one source where they say that they can go through walls and things like that.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, I saw one source, and one source too said that if you're on Grunch Road and you see an injured goat. Mm-hmm. Don't go help it, because if you do, then it's a trap. The Grunch will come get you.
Well, you see, okay, here's the thing. When we go Grunch hunting, if we find an injured Grunch or an injured goat...
I'm dead, because I'm going to go help it.
Yeah, you go help it and I'll record.
Okay.
I'll stay in the car and I'll record.
I'll bring my my trusty Grunch...
Repellent?
No.
Grunch off?
It's a taser thing. I'll bring it's a stun gun, I guess. Mm-hmm. What is it? The ones you buy like just in stores.
That's a stun gun.
It's a stun gun?
Yeah, you're not talking about like a taser.
No,
right?
I know there's a difference. I couldn't remember which was which. But yeah, I'll bring my trusty Grunch stun gun.
Yeah, and I'll just record everything.
Okay.
And then like once they suck your insides out, I'll be like, well, I guess Angel's gone. I'll call 911.
Yeah, after you get it on, please get it on tape first, because I'm gonna be gone anyway. Get it on tape. Do like all the people do on America's. Well, I better not say it, but on these video shows when their kids are like, a camel licking them in the mouth and Frenching them and stuff like that, and they're like, well, we got to videotape this first.
Yeah.
Then we'll save the baby.
Yeah. Nah. Now I'm gonna record it and then make sure you're okay. And if you're okay, everything's good.
I won't be.
You never know.
Well, some sources say that it's kind of like a werewolf.
Yeah.
If you get bitten by the Grunch, then when the full moon comes, you turn into a Grunch. Ooh. So if they decide that my organs are not worth it, which they're probably not. Yeah. They're probably not. Yeah. They're not so good.
It's all the bacon you eat.
Yeah, that's what it is. All the bacon. Anyways, if they decide that it's not worth it and they bite me, then I will be a Grunch and I will let you film me before I eat you.
Oh, nice. Well,
I wouldn't eat you. You're gross.
What we can do is during the next full moon, we will tie you to a chair, put you outside, and videotape you turning into a Grunch.
That works.
Would that work?
But I probably would get out of it because I would be strong like a Grunch.
That's why we would use chain. We've got ways and means to keep you in there. And we'll have your trusty Grunch taser. Grunch stun gun.
Grunch. You said grunge.
Yeah, I know. I keep saying grunge.
There's a big difference.
We will have your useful Grunch stun gun. How about that?
That's right.
Because it worked for you whenever you were getting attacked by him, right?
Obviously.
Yeah, so I mean... What if like this thing does turn out to be a real thing?
That would be pretty cool. It'd be pretty cool because what's interesting about it is we didn't hear about the chupacabra until the 90s, and that came from Puerto Rico, was it? Somewhere over there.
I think one it was of those. Puerto Rico.
Anyways, and this is very similar, and it goes back to the 1800s. So who knows?
It's been around
maybe.
For a while. How long does a Grunch live for?
Well, I don't know.
And there was a male and a female.
There's probably generations.
Why don't you read your story about the?
I found kind of a strange little story that I guess if you look at it, it's really no stranger than the Marie Laveau story. But
this was a little bit weirder.
It's pretty weird. So basically, a long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away. Can I say that?
I don't think that's copyrighted.
A long time ago in the 1800s, when was New Orleans founded? I was thinking New Orleans was founded in the 1700s.
Hold on.
Aaron is putting lotion on his ashiness.
My ankles. Because my ankles were ashy as shit, too. Now I can't use my phone.
You can. It'll just be lotion. Okay, here's where I got the time frame from. So New Orleans. I say New Orleans. I can't help it. No, I don't say Nolans. I hate that. Anyways, hang on. Was founded. Okay, so New Orleans was founded. See, I'll say New Orleans. New Orleans was founded in the spring of 1718. Okay, so this goes back before the Marie Laveau story.
Apparently, they got a thing on it on YouTube.
Cool.
We'll have to take a look at it.
Yeah. So basically, way back then, they had these little guys who were albino. Dwarves.
You're wrong about that. It's albinos and dwarves.
No, it's not.
See, the one that I read said it was albinos and dwarves. They were chased out of normal society. They formed their own together, and they basically became...
No, that's not what I read.
Yeah,
let's look real quick. Hang on. What are we talking about there?
Albinos and dwarves becoming grunches.
All right, so let's see. Maybe I just looked at it wrong, but we shall see.
I like that stuff. It smells pretty good.
It does.
Was this part of your birthday gift?
Uh-huh, that Roger gave me the receipt for.
Yeah. I tried stopping at Roger. I'm sorry, buddy.
I didn't look at it. I didn't realize what it was at first, and I did click on it, but I didn't look at it. All right, that's not it. I think it's the next one up.
You know, as far as sequels go, I think I like Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls more than Pet Detective.
I remember when it came out, the rhino part.
Holy shit.
Like to have killed me, Dean and Daddy.
Oh, my God.
We couldn't breathe.
You know, you can buy a print of that, hang it up in your living room.
I don't doubt it a bit.
God, if I ever get like a shit ton of money, I'm going to do that. I want to have that in the living room, and you go to the bathroom, it's going to be Jeff Daniels taking a shit from Dumb and Dumber. Because you can get that one as well.
That's funny.
I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? It's the greatest thing ever.
I think this is where it was. Just got to let my computer scroll down enough if it decides to. Come on. It thinks it can. It thinks it can. Let me find albino. There we go. And you're right, it does say a group of albinos and dwarves. Okay.
Boom.
So I just
Aaron wins debate number 2.
Shut up, Aaron.
Boom goes the dynamite.
You stink.
I smell like mango now.
All right. So let's go back to the story then. We're going to correct what I said then, and it is albinos and dwarves that lived in the woods there, and they got pushed more and more into the woods because people thought that they were creations of the devil, which maybe they would have been if they ended up causing... What are you looking up now?
Well, no, I'm pulling up the map again.
Oh. Anyways, so they were pushed back further and further, and basically they were pushed away from everybody else, and eventually they started breeding together, and then they inbred, and one thing led to another, and bam, they were Grunches.
Gotcha.
And that's pretty much it. Hang on.
Now, a while ago, when I mentioned the Wildlife Refuge, do you remember the name I said?
Started with an S. It was Bayou Sauvage. That's it.
Okay, so I said Sauvage and not Savoy, right?
Yes.
Okay. Don't want to piss off any of these New Orleans folk.
No, because we need their help when we go over there.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, if you're from New Orleans and you know some places that we need to go to,
Let
us know.
Or if you know more about, let's try that again. Or if you know more about the Grunch story, or if you've seen the Grunch, or
if you are
a picture of the Grunch, or especially if you are a Grunch. Yes. Not a Grinch. We don't want to hear from Grinches. But we do want to hear from Grunches. No, you didn't say it. I'll just clarify.
How the Grunch stole Christmas.
We don't want to hear the Grinches. We want to hear the Grunches. Okay. So basically, another part of that legend is that they sold their souls to the devil and they torture and kill animals for sacrifice. And then we talked about the whole injured goat thing. What we didn't talk about is what they look like.
Yeah.
So legend says that basically they look kind of like a cross between a canine and a reptilian chupacabra. And they kind of also look like a goat.
Yeah, so it's like man, bear, pig. It's half man, half bear, half pig.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Man, bear, pig is real. I'm super serial.
It is. But what about what's that thing's name? The one that has Patrick Duffy for a leg.
Oh, that's
Dang it. I forgot. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Okay, so they are black or gray with leathery skin. They have long spikes along their back. They're 3 to 4 feet tall. And they howl like a wolf or scream like a banshee. Scuttlebutt. There you go. They howl like a wolf or scream like a banshee, or they bellow like an ape when they're alarmed.
So it's just like covering all the bases right there.
They just freak out.
So if you hear something saying, hey, get over here, I'm a Grunch, it's probably not a Grunch.
Probably. If you hear something go, yeah, oh, then it's a Grunch.
How'd that go again?
Yeah, oh.
One more time?
No. It could, I
wish you guys could have seen her face when she was doing this. It's like someone poked her in the butt with a hot poker.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It was really weird.
Okay. So, it probably just deafened some people.
Yeah, I know, right?
The dogs in the background are like,
they're like,
what
holy
the
shit,
heck?
what the hell was that?
Anyways.
Like it sounded like you meowed at first, too, so the cats are probably like, what'd she say about my mama? Yeah.
Maybe I am a Grunch. You never know.
That would explain a lot. Wait, are they vegetarians?
No.
At least
so
you're not
I can't be a
vegan
Grunch. I can't be a Grunch. Okay, so they stink.
Yeah.
They have eyes that sometimes they may glow red, sometimes they may glow orange, sometimes they may glow blue-green. And you know what? As far as this part, I'm kind of calling BS because I'm not about the whole legend, but that sounds like people have seen dogs and stuff. I've had dogs. Some of my dogs, their eyes have glowed. Yes, I said that right. Okay.
Been glowing.
Yes.
Red.
Some green. It just depends on the dog.
It's the way the light reflects off their eyes. So.
And it depends on the dog, too, because, I have had some that just don't glow blue at all.
They don't have a soul. They're demon dogs.
Well, they glow, but they glow red. They might be, but they were sweet, so no.
Are you sure?
Anyways, some legends say that they have bat-like wings, although most legends don't. And they do have a tail. We talked about them drinking animals' blood.
Sucking the organs out?
Yes. And then some legends say that they're actually able to speak, but it's in a low growl.
Yeah.
So you do that. I did the...
Hey, how you doing? What's up, boys? I'm not a Grunch. Get over here and give me some of them, rabbit guts and shit like that.
So you have to believe that. He said he wasn't a Grunch. He's
I
not
just
a
spoke
Grunch.
Well, here's my thing, too. I mean, I know when I've been rabbit hunting before, there's a way that you can...
Aaron,
there's
I
a way
done without that.
There's a way that you can basically get the guts out of the rabbit without having to cut it. So I wonder if maybe some people have seen something kind of similar.
Yeah,
even with like a bigger animal, you can do it if you've got enough force.
It's possible. There's probably something to this, but I don't know if it's a Grunch. But I mean, there may be some. It's interesting to me that it's near a wildlife refuge, so it does make you wonder: is there some kind of a little animal that they, maybe there's just a few of them left? Who knows?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, we're going to go there soon,
or it could be mistaken identity.
Yeah, next week I'm going to be out of town.
I know the whole thing about the chupacabra, that's the canine-looking chupacabras. That's just ridiculous. So, I don't know. It could be something like that.
It could be. A lot of people have said maybe it's
that whole canine chupacabra thing. You need to answer that.
Nah. They said maybe it's a dog or a raccoon with mange. And even the Grunch has been called that. I keep wanting to call it the Grinch or the Grunch.
I know, it's hard to get out. But, yeah, I don't know if I believe that, but it did say that. So there have been recent sightings as well as older sightings. I didn't find a whole lot of specific situations. I did find that they say that after Katrina, the sightings actually increased.
Yeah, because they were displaced.
Which, there again, makes me think maybe there is some sort of an animal that we haven't discovered yet. You wouldn't think so in Louisiana because it's there's so many people, but there is that wildlife refuge. That's what I keep going back to.
Well, I mean, you're still going to have assholes that go there and, they're going to hunt in that area even though they're not supposed to. Even though it's right next to the city, they're still going to hunt there. So, but I mean, I'm pretty sure maybe someone has gone in there illegally. And maybe they've seen something. Or, I mean, you can even go in there legally and you can hike the area, you can tour the area. Well, someone had to have seen something.
That may have something to do with the sightings, but there's more to it than that because people have actually, it's not just that, they've seen the remains, they actually think that they've seen the Grunch. So, for example, there was a woman in Harvey, Louisiana, not too long ago. I don't know when. It's supposed to be more recent, but it didn't give me a date. But she saw one eating her neighbor's dog.
Yeah, I saw that. I read that report.
And then there's been we kind of covered this, but there's been a lot of reports of sanitation workers seeing the Grunch chase their trucks and get in the garbage and stuff. So, but I couldn't find a lot of specifics. Now, we didn't have as much time to research this topic as we wanted to because we're kind of on a tighter deadline than usual with this. We're doing a couple of shows in the same day, which we don't usually do, but Aaron is going out of town next week, so we have to. Where are you going, Aaron?
I'm going to Dragon Con in Atlanta.
Dragon Con. What is Dragon Con?
It's I'm looking stuff up while I'm doing this. It's it's actually a cosplay convention. I don't know if I want to have too much fun there, but we're going with a group of guys, of friends.
You cosplay.
Yeah, but not like on the level that these people are going to be doing it.
You wore a diaper.
That was for Halloween.
You still did it.
That was for Halloween,
You wore a diaper and a bib and no shirt.
That was for Halloween, and I won that costume contest.
Yes, it was disturbing. We should put that picture up on the site.
Maybe.
Send it to... you know what? I did have it.
Here's the thing about it. I don't mean to interrupt you, but...
Sure you do.
This right here is the Bayou Sauvage National Refuge. And this area right here is the Harvey area where she says she's seen the Grunch. And right next to it is the Jean Lafitte National Historic Park and Preserve.
So that's another one. They're right by each other. So that's a larger amount of land than we even realized. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm excited to actually go over there and see what we can find.
Check out both places in, half a day.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Hit some bars.
Except you have to drive, because I hate driving in New Orleans.
I hate driving in big cities, but we'll figure it out. We'll do something. Yeah,
we'll let Trisha drive.
That's going to be fun.
That would not be fun.
It's going to be fantastic. But yeah, the Grunch, man. I mean, I don't know if any of the people that are going to be listening to this have any stories about it, but if you do, man, I would damn sure love to hear it and know some of what some of the history, some of the lore about it.
Yeah, definitely. And we did see, and we'll put on our site, one supposed picture of it, but it's just grass with something in the grass you can't see.
It could be anything. It's so friggin' blurry.
Could be anything. It's almost a joke, but I'm going to put it up there anyways.
Yeah, and we're gonna be going there soon, and we're going to be using Angel as bait.
Yeah, and I'm cool with that.
We're going to have at least one camera on Angel the entire time.
Oh no, I'm not cool with being filmed until it happens. You have to.
Well, we won't hit record. We won't hit record until we see a Grunch.
That's cool. Okay, that's cool. Then if I'm getting my blood sucked by a Grunch, I'm not going to care.
Yeah.
Until then.
Do you want us to come off and try to scare it from you, or do you just want to take one for the team?
Just take one for the team. Why not? It would be bizarre if something really did it.
I know. It's like, Aaron, you killed Angel. It's like, no, I didn't, man. It was a Grunch.
Oh, we've got the proof.
We've got you on video, on camera, and recording, saying that you're not going to do shit to help her. You could have helped her, man. If you just come out of the vehicle and been like, hey, Grunch, get away from her, she would still be alive. That's
right. Throw your taco down and come help her.
That's like you get the one medical examiner out there who's seeing everything, and he's like, well, what do we got? Oh, that's horrible.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Happy to help. And to get you in trouble.
Yeah.
That's fun. That's what I live for.
That's the main thing that's there, right?
That's what I live for. Always have.
That's the main thing you want to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good stuff. We're going to be doing that pretty dang soon, probably in the next couple of weeks. Like I said, next week I got to out of town, but after that we'll damn sure see about visiting New Orleans.
So what are you going to dress up as?
Carlos Spicy Wiener and Fat. Wait, who's Carlos Spicy Wiener?
I can't believe you gave away your luchador name.
That was friggin' hilarious when I did that in Indianapolis. Did I tell you that story?
You'll have to refresh my memory. You've told me several stories.
It's me, Greg, and Pat. And that was the year that Pat came with us. And they're like, hey, man, why don't you dress up like your luchador? So I'm like, shit, okay. So I've got the mask on. I've got the leggings on. And it's pretty funny. Brandy Doss, she helped me find the leggings for it. We went every friggin' where looking for leggings for this costume. And I was just about to be like, you know what, screw it, I'm just going to wear jeans. And she's like, wait a second, let's go to Liz Claiborne. And we did, and sure as shit, they had them. I was like, what the hell? And they've got skulls and shit. Some of them had
gosh, that's funny.
Some of them had skulls and crossbones. Some had sugar skulls. Some had the skulls and roses and shit. And it was fantastic. I loved it. So I bought a pair for me and bought a pair for Ace since he was there. And the next day, Greg's like, hey, let's go to breakfast. So I'm like, okay. The year before, we'd gone to this little breakfast place that's 5 or 6 blocks away from the hotel. He's like, but you got to dress up as a luchador. So I'm like, done. I was going to do it anyways. So I put the leggings on, put the cape on, put the mask on, put my boots on, take my shirt off.
Oh, no.
And we're walking
Aaron, yuck.
in downtown Indianapolis, and I almost caused a wreck. Because we're at this intersection, and I'm in the character now, okay? So I'm doing all my stretches and shit, squats, and kicking my leg up. And this woman was watching me, not paying any friggin' attention at all, and almost ran into the back of the truck in front of her.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine if she would have? And she's like, but I was watching a luchador, officer.
Oh yeah, it was fantastic.
And then you're gone by then.
Yeah, it was pretty damn funny. But yeah, we get to the sandwich place. I'm like, well, I'm not going to eat with the mask on. So I dipped into an alleyway, took the cape off, took the mask off, put a shirt on, and ate breakfast. And on the way back, I did the same thing. Now, Ace and I had this kind of planned where I gave him his leggings the night before. And he's walking around, and he's dressed up like El Chupacabra. That was his name.
Oh, really?
It was Carlos Spicy Wiener and El Chupacabra. So I'm like, hey, Ace, don't tell me where you're at, but whenever we see each other, we got to put on a little show. So we're walking around. It's me and Pat, and we're walking, and I see Ace, and he sees me. And we're right next to one of the main halls where all the games are being played and all the demos are happening. And he sees me, and Pat's like, oh, shit. And I don't know if he still got the video, but he did have a video of it where Ace and I, we kind of tie up a little bit, and then we back off, and then we tie up again. And then like we back off. I'm like, he's good. And I kind of laid a chop across him. He couldn't do anything like that to me because I felt bad about that because of my neck.
Yeah.
But I laid a chop across his chest. And then I'm like, now it's time for my finisher. And I did the belly wave thing. And he's like, oh, no, I'm succumbing to his finisher. And someone in the crowd was like, don't look at it, you dumbass. And he laid down, and I pinned him. And when I looked around, there was like 3,000 people watching us.
Oh, my gosh.
I was like, holy shit,
so
this is fantastic.
So there's no telling who actually has that on film.
Yeah, no.
That's cool. So are we leaving that in the podcast?
Yeah, you can. I don't mind.
I want to put a picture of it. You're not wearing a shirt, but people will like to see it.
Yeah, I'll get you a picture
See
of
if
it
you can
before
get the
this one
video.
comes out.
That would be funny.
That would be pretty damn good. But yeah, it was fantastic. I mean, everyone just stopped, and they were mesmerized by what was going on. It's like two fat dudes just beating the shit out of each other.
That's funny. It's so funny that all your characters seem to not wear shirts.
Well, I mean, I'm not embarrassed that I'm a fat dude. I'm not embarrassed by that at all.
It's not that. It's just funny.
Yeah, I mean,
oh my
a lot of people see heavier people and are like, oh, they must be such ashamed of themselves. Hell no, man. I'll take my shirt off right now.
Crap.
I'll take my shirt off any time. It was kind of funny. When I was working at the police department, a friend of mine was looking for a new pharmacy. And I knew of Burnham Drugs, so I sent him there. And he went there, and he's like, I got to ask you a question. And my buddy's like, oh, damn, here it comes. He's going to ask me, like, my whole life history and shit like that. And he's like, does Aaron take his shirt off all the time when he's at work? And my buddy's like, yeah, he'll take his shirt off anywhere. And
you really will.
Yeah, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
No, it's not. I guess it's not so much. I don't mean the weight thing. I mean, it's just like, I don't know. I'm tired. My cousin's always taking his shirt off. It's like, okay, enough already. But it is funny.
It is funny. And that's why I do it. I'll do almost anything to make people laugh. So
you really will. Yep, you really will. You missed your calling. You should have been a stand-up comedian.
Well, I mean, you see, I thought I was a funny person until I got on the internet. So, it's weird.
The internet's weird, definitely.
Yeah, but
I have a dry sense of humor. A lot of people don't get my sense of humor.
I love people with dry senses of humor because you never know when they're joking.
Mm-hmm, but most people, that's the thing. Most people don't realize, and they think I'm just being mean or something. I have to go back and say, I was joking. I didn't mean to insult your grandmother's uncle's cousin.
Yeah, the current chief where I used to work, he's got a very dry sense of humor, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I'm laughing my ass off, and people are like, oh, my God, is he serious? And I'm like laughing and shit. And that got me in trouble like once or twice when he was being serious.
Yeah.
And I thought he was being funny.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, I've had that too where, sometimes, people will think I'm joking and I'm not.
Yeah.
It's funny.
It happens.
A lot of times people just think I'm mean, though. I get it all the time. People are like, you're
super mean.
I'm not mean. I just like to joke around, and people don't get my
super
sense
duper
of
mean.
humor. My husband gets my sense of humor. That's about it.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
Does that mean I don't really have a sense of humor? I just think I do?
Yeah.
That's what
I don't think you're funny at all. That's why I'm here. I'm the funny guy on the show.
That's right.
That's what Angel told me anyways, and then I want to be funny, making raunchy, dirty jokes, and she's like, Aaron, you can't do that.
You got to cut it back some. You can get a little bit there, but, this isn't that kind of podcast. We'll have to start a new podcast for that.
Yeah.
You could be like,
maybe you
Aaron
could put
Unleashed.
it out still, and we could have one with explicit and one without. And just be like, look, this is going to be like dirty. This is going to be like a lot of cursing and shit. Because I'd like to hear the edited or the unedited interview with Grip Sinners.
Yeah, you can hear it.
That's good shit.
Oh,
That's
gosh.
good stuff right there.
So anyways, I don't know. That's about all we have on the Grunch. It's really, there's not that much information on it. It's although the legend has been around a long time, most of the information we have is more recent and just kind of vague. I'd also like to go to some libraries over there and pour into some books, some old books, and see what we could find.
I mean, whenever we go there, we can actually take some of the tours and see if some of the tour guides know about the Grunch.
I'm sure they do. We've got a picture here where they've got a, what do you call it, Aaron? the baby up here. Let's see.
Oh, the devil baby?
Yeah, it's the devil baby, but you called it something. It's like it looks like it's a painting. I thought it was.
Let me see.
Is that a painting or a blurry picture?
No, it's an effigy of him. It's an effigy.
Effigy.
Yeah, it's a doll, pretty much.
Okay. Well, that's what I was thinking, but then it looks like a painting. It's weird. Huh. The jewels on it, no, don't look like a painting. But anyways, we'll put it on the site so you can see it. So, and maybe we can take some pictures when we get over there of it. And anyways, all right. So I guess that's all we have for that. I guess we want to tell the scary story.
Read your scary story.
Scary story. Scary story is from Louisiana.
Ooh. How y'all do with that? Yeah. This is my Cajun accent. I don't know if I sound them Cajun accent or not, but
kind of. It's not thick enough, but it's.
There's my Cajun accent right there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's better.
How y'all do with that?
Yeah, you got to do like on Waterboy or on.
Give me them
oh my gosh, one of my favorite scenes too. And I cannot do it, but you know I love South Park.
Oh yeah.
So I'm all in that scramp.
Scramp. I want some of them
Can
scramps.
You do it?
No.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't think I've seen that episode.
They talk about. I can't remember which episode it was, but it's got like a Cajun dude, and he's like, I got an oil in my scramp. Talking about the oil, the Gulf oil.
I got them all in my scramps.
Yeah. Okay, hang on.
That's good shit. Yeah, I'm going to have to... See, what I'm doing is I'm starting from the beginning. I haven't seen South Park in forever.
I've seen all of them until, like, the latest season.
So what I'm starting to do is on Hulu...
refresh your memory.
I'm starting from the beginning, and I'm watching them all in order. And unfortunately, I get distracted by shit like Letterkenny.
Yeah.
And Future Man, and the Amazing Jonathan documentary, and... I just watched Another Life. I'm on the fence about Another Life. It's kind of weird.
I don't know what that is.
It's a Netflix series, and I'm just like, oh, whatever, man. I don't know.
Okay, listen to this.
Just look at all my scrimp here. My scrimp is the best scrimp inside of Louisiana. Now down the road, got up in that scrimp, and it ain't worth the slime and newspaper it's sold on. Just look at all that earl on my scrimp.
That's good stuff.
That's racist.
Oh, then I'm racist. So funny.
I love Trey Parker and Matt Stone. Anyway. Yeah, Trey Parker and Matt Stone. I love them. They're great. They're fantastic. Come on,
that was hilarious.
Yeah, that was pretty damn funny.
Hilarious.
And I can tell that's after the BP oil spill. So.
Which is not hilarious, but you have to make the best out of it.
But yeah, can you imagine a world without South Park?
Not anymore. Yeah. Not anymore. I love South Park.
It's like before 1996, it just wasn't funny.
Yeah, it changed so many things. I remember when it was, the previews were coming on before it actually aired, and I was like, I can't wait to see that. I've got to see that.
I remember a buddy of mine.
Loved it instantly.
Back in like 97, 98, somewhere around there. He got his first computer, and he tried downloading the very first episode of South Park.
Oh,
and
God.
It took him like 14 hours to get it for like 20 minutes of like low def, squiggly line South Park, but it was the greatest shit we'd ever seen.
That's funny.
Pretty funny. Pretty good
And
stuff.
the first episode that actually aired in my area, I know the Alien episode, I better get closer. I know the Alien episode came first, but the first episode that aired in my area was the one where they're hunting the scuttlebutt.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Is that the first one that aired? Period.
I think the very first episode that aired. Period was the Alien episode where Cartman gets an anal probe.
See, I know that's the first one, but
we didn't get it until Scuttlebutt. Huh. It's coming right for us.
That's weird, but it was
Patrick
funny.
Duffy has a leg and a stalk of celery as an arm.
You gotta love it.
All he does is like to weave baskets.
He just wants to be left alone and weave his baskets.
Yep.
That's what he just wants to be left alone and chase garbage trucks.
Maybe he's not like. Maybe he's trying to help him. He's got like a mouthful of garbage. He's like, "Hey guys, you forgot some. Here you go."
Wait, I'm trying to help you.
You know, I say this, but I'm like, hey, stop next time you see a Grunch running after you. But I mean, holy shit! If you see a Grunch running after you, you're going to be like, put the pedal to the metal, buddy. Let's get the hell out of here.
Since we're talking about the Grunch today, a monster from Louisiana, or as I usually say, Louisiana.
Louisiana.
Then what do you say?
At least you're not saying Nolans.
What do you say?
Louisiana.
You say Louisiana. I don't know why I say Louisiana. I guess that's just what my.
You're probably one of those people that say nuclear.
Stop it. We had that conversation last week. I am not.
It just feels so wrong trying to say it like that. Nuclear. Yeah,
I watched something yesterday that was about, going back to Bob Lazar, and it was talking about how, was pointing out the things that he was doing the things that he lied about, basically. And the guy kept saying nuclear, and I'm like, I can't even take you seriously.
Nuclear.
Anyways, so this I think is going to be a good one. It is from ReadersDigest.com. And it's titled My Louisiana Ghost Story, Alone Overnight in a Haunted House. It is written by Andrew Evans from National Geographic Traveler. No, it's not haunted, the housekeeper reassured me. Oh, there are stories, but nobody's ever seen anything, she paused. I've never seen anything. In an unnamed house in an unnamed town in a state named after King Louis XIV, I met a ghost. We were never introduced properly. In fact, the housekeeper denied any and all ghosts the minute I walked in. It's not haunted. At least, I've never seen anything, she announced as she led me through the grand entryway and into a hallway dressed up with fall flower arrangements. The century-old house was massive. One huge square room after another, and each one decorated with antique parlor furniture, large potted plants, heavy framed mirrors and paintings, and crystal chandeliers that hung like glowing upside-down wedding dresses. It was a beautiful southern mansion that, like so many in Louisiana, now functioned as a luxurious bed and breakfast. The housekeeper showed me my suite for the night. It had a tremendous king-size bed smothered in a pile of pillows and more white lace and satin than a royal christening. You'll be staying alone in the house, the housekeeper added. There are no other guests tonight. As long as you say it's not haunted, I joked. No, it's not haunted, she reassured me. Oh, there are stories, but nobody's ever seen anything. She paused. I've never seen anything. I asked her to tell me more about the stories, and out of the housekeeper's mouth tumbled one grade-A Southern ghost story. Apparently, the Cajun family who had once owned the house reported seeing the ghost of a little girl who, when she was alive, used to get locked up in the wooden closet under the stairs. Trapped in the dark, she would scream and kick against the door, a habit that she carried on into the next life. Despite closing that door every night, the Cajun family would always find it wide open in the morning. Eventually, they began leaving toys inside the closet at night to appease the unhappy little ghost. Last year, we had a Halloween party in the house. Guess what my costume was? She was suddenly cheerful again. I dressed up as a little girl from under the stairs. I think I could have handled just about anything if the housekeeper had told me that someone had hanged himself in the foyer, or that the mansion was under some swamp curse, or that it was built on top of some old French cemetery. But no. Instead, she was describing a bothered little girl ghost trapped in a closet with an armful of old-fashioned toys. Now that was creepy. Oh, you're going to hear things tonight. You will, she laughed nervously, and then she left. I was now in the house alone. It was evening. A few lights had been left on in some of the rooms, and I did not feel the need to start walking around the huge house to turn them off. Instead, I made my way to the first-floor bedroom and then into the bathroom, where I changed for bed and brushed my teeth. That's when I felt it, that dreadful sensation of being watched. I felt coldness on the back of my neck and my spine tingled. I stared at my face in the mirror, but there was nothing else there, no apparitions or vague reflections. I left the room and then shut the glass-paneled bathroom door, certain that I was simply scaring myself. I sat down at the table, opened my laptop, and began answering email. It was 11:15, and the glow from my computer pulled me away from any fears and kept me focused on the mundane realities of our digital lives. At 11 o'clock, the noises started. Shh, 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 shh. A pair of feet shuffled across the bathroom floor. I turned toward the door I had just closed. It was still closed. The only entrance into that room, the noise repeated itself. A pair of feet shuffling across the floor, then stopping right at the other side of the bathroom door. My fingers froze on the keyboard and I tried to think rationally. My mind went through all the things that might be making the noise. Someone else entering the house, some very large wild animal scurrying about. But no, those had been feet pattering along the floor. That's when I crawled into the giant bed and took up my defensive position, armed pitifully with my cell phone and laptop. At midnight, I heard a loud thump upstairs, then another, followed by another. Soon there was clatter all about, dull thuds, a few bangs, followed by the sound of someone walking around on the second floor. I remained frozen in my bed, tweeting my terror out into the great digital cloud. There are strange noises coming from upstairs. Yes, I was terrified. I hadn't taken the housekeeper seriously, and now it was nearly midnight, and I was stuck in a giant bed in a giant mansion that had suddenly come alive with strange noises. No, they were not simply old house noises that old houses make. There was no air conditioning or heat running. It was not simply the humid air turning cooler and the house settling back into its foundations, as many Twitter followers tried to explain to me. A few minutes later, I heard the sound of someone running down the stairs. Whatever it was had joined me on the first floor. I stared at the bedroom door, then reverted to Facebook. I chatted with friends in different countries explaining my dilemma, that I was wide awake in a house that was most likely haunted by a traumatized little girl, and that honestly, this was the kind of adventure on which I'd be happy to pass. Eventually, the footsteps went back up the stairs and the clatter intensified. I wanted to laugh, but couldn't. As I read my Twitter friends arguing about the existence of ghosts, all the while I was listening to what sounded like bowling balls rolling around on the floor above me and doors slamming shut. Via social media, I began to get a flood of real-time advice on how to deal with my real-time haunting. Some said to confront the thing. Others said to call the police and report intruders. Some said to pray to St. Michael, and others said St. Joseph was better with this sort of thing. The Hindus in India said to burn incense. My friend, who's a nun, told me to leave the house immediately. Eventually, my body grew so tired that I lay down, wrapped up like a mummy in my blankets. The house became silent once more, and for several hours I listened to the quiet, still terrified, but hopeful that the worst was over. All I had to do was make it until morning. I awoke at around 4 a.m. to the sound of crystal glasses clinking against crystal. Then somebody was stacking china. I thought of the Cajun family who had lived here, how they had appeased the ghosts with toys. I had no toys to offer. The only thing I had in my bag was a small harmonica that I had recently purchased. For a second I was relieved, as if I had something positive to offer the ghost. But then I realized that if I suddenly heard a harmonica playing in the darkness, I would probably die of cardiac arrest. And so I stayed in bed until morning, not sleeping and not moving. I waited until I heard the housekeeper arrive and begin preparing breakfast in the kitchen. Only then did I crawl out of bed. The housekeeper acted nonchalant. She gave me some food and chatted about the weather until I finally interrupted. I told her what had happened, all the different sounds that I had heard, and how I had been kept awake for most of the night. You know, my son won't even set foot in this house, she confessed. He'll come to the door but won't ever cross into it. As a teenager, he played with the owner's son inside the house and had one creepy experience that he still won't discuss, and that has kept him away ever since. The housekeeper also told me about her little niece talking alone upstairs, chatting with an unseen friend. And yet, she would never admit that she had any proof of anything. She needed the house not to be haunted, which made sense to me. If I worked all day in a big old southern mansion, I would not want it to be haunted either. And that's basically the story. So that actually would be really creepy. I've been in similar situations.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in that situation, you're going to be shitting bricks.
Yeah, because you don't know. I mean, my big thing that scares me with stuff like that, if I let it scare me, which I don't nowadays, but I used to when I was younger, is you watch these scary movies where all of a sudden something appears and it zooms up to your face.
Yeah, jump scares. I hate jump scares.
Oh, that used to get me. There was, what was it, the house on Haunted Hill, I think it was, where she's like down by that pool of water or acid or whatever it was, I can't remember, and all of a sudden this thing appears and it zooms up to her. Oh, that was the worst.
See, I don't like jump scares. They don't really scare me. What I like are the horror movies and series where it's a slow, gradual build-up.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen the Haunting of Hill House?
Yes.
I loved it.
That is definitely a slow, gradual build-up, but it was very good. It was very well done. It wasn't as scary as I had hoped it would be.
And it did have a few jump scares, but
vibe. Yeah, but I did hope that it would be a little scarier than it was, but it was very well done regardless.
Yeah, parts of it were extremely creepy. Like, I loved, I think it was episode 3 or 6, I can't remember which one, where it was just a bunch of long shots. And I don't know what it is, but I just love the long shots. It's one continuous shot. And if they screw up, they've got to start from the beginning. Yeah. I love those.
It was kind of like eye candy. It was even, the story was really, really good. But the visuals of the whole film, it was just, there was always so much to look at and take in. And the acting was, for the most part, really good. It was a good movie.
Would you have lived in that house?
I would have not. It's hard for me to say that because I did live in a haunted house one time, and you would, at first you'd be like, no, but I missed that house. And there was some bad stuff that happened in that house. On Cemetery.
Okay, yeah.
There was some bad stuff in that house that happened as well as good stuff. But if I had the chance, I would live there again.
Yeah, it was a decent house. I liked it.
Yeah, it was just creepy. Knowing how it ended, I wouldn't live in the house. But just it being haunted, I wouldn't have a problem with that. That kind of stuff just doesn't scare me because I've been around it so much. I mean, I grew up in a haunted house. The house that we lived in, I don't know if you'll remember which one. Remember when we had Spud, the dog?
Yeah, the Basset Hound, right?
Yes. Yeah. The house that we lived in there was as haunted as it could be. Something used to hit me upside the head when I was a kid, when I was laying in bed,
You want to know what I remember most about that house? That was the very first time that I played Nintendo.
My brother's Nintendo.
Downward
he was proud of that
spiral
thing.
From that
ever
moment
since.
on.
So Dean is responsible.
I remember you guys had Super Mario Brothers.
Dean.
And I was like, so what is this? And he's like, oh, it's Nintendo. It's Super Mario Brothers. And I didn't know what the shit it was. I was
because he got it as soon as it came out.
Yep.
He was proud of that.
Yeah.
They saved up for that.
I remember the TV you guys had it on too, because Mario could run off. Yeah, Mario could run off the edge. It didn't extend all the way.
Yeah, the TV was one of those old monstrosities from the 80s where it's huge and it's got a big screen, but it's not like the ones today where they show everything. It does. Things kind of cut off. Anyway, so it's Dean's fault. Well, that's about all the time that we have today. We're not sure what we're going to cover next week. We've got a lot of things on our plate, so we'll get back with you guys, and it'll be a surprise.
Ooh, surprise.
Surprises are awesome.
But yeah, well, this is Aaron.
I like surprises as long as they're not a jump scare. And this is Angel.
And don't burn the roo, guys.
Don't burn the roo. In small southern towns
again. Oh my God.
Those of you who have listened to us for a little while will know what I mean. Bye.
Have a nice one, guys.